All right, I think we're live. Welcome to At Lafayette Live for Monday, August. It is the 26th here in 2024. How you guys doing this evening? It takes a few minutes for everybody to get loaded into the chat room as we go, so let me know as you get in the chat room that you can see and hear me all right. Hope your week's going okay. So far, so good here. What's keeping you busy on a Monday in August, guys? Everybody's well back in school yet. That story is old and dusted right now, right? Everybody's been in school for ever and ever now. I mean, we're basically 1 week away to the end of August, and school for some out a little east of here. Some colleagues of mine, some friends of mine out over towards like the Kokomo area. We're going back like August 1st. So I don't think it's fair to say that we're just at the beginning of back to school. We're well and truly in the live fall. I mean, let's see. Summer began at the end of June. So 3 months, so to July, August to September. So somewhere around the end of September is when actual season of fall starts. But as far as our lives and our community, we're deep into the fall, it seems. So hope everybody's having a great week. Let me know in the chat where you guys are from. Anybody from Lafayette or West Lafayette here? How about all of Tippecanoe County? Are you in Battleground? Just outside of Tippecanoe County, maybe Delphi. Spent a little time in Delphi with some friends today. Hope you're watching. Are you on the lake up in Monticello? It's been a couple of weeks since I've made it up there. Indiana Beach is only open on the weekends now, so not that I have time to go during the week anyway. Well, I don't really like At Lafayette Live to be a news show because that's not what we are. If you want to watch the news, go tune into WLFI. But there's been a lot going on here in the Lafayette area in the last 2 weeks. It's pretty amazing. I was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, it felt like, the last couple of weeks for some interesting things to talk about. And this week, we have a plethora of things to talk about. So let's just dive right in. We've got the Tippecanoe County Public Library has held its grand reopening, rededication ceremony. They've been undergoing renovations for a while now. And the cool thing about this is they have renamed the downtown library, so it's no longer the downtown library. It's the Joseph N. Holman branch of the Tippecanoe County Public Library. I don't know if you've ever met Joseph, but he was a librarian, was a specialist in storytelling and children's literature and poems and storytelling, his own stories and of course those of others. He's a pretty amazing man. I've met him a few times over the years, just in the library, coming and going, and he's a real gem in the community. So it's really pretty awesome to name the library after him. He was a librarian for over 20 years at the branch. So about 18 months they've been working on it, about $6 million. They're pretty much done. They say they got a few little details to wrap up, but they've got new entryways, new study pods, improvements to the youth room. So if you love books like our family does, you should go down and check out the Tippecanoe County Public Library, the Joseph N. Holman branch downtown. Take a minute. I'm going to hit that like and subscribe button. Go check out our hundreds now. I think we're a little north of 200 videos about Lafayette and West Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, West Central Indiana, and all the fun things to do around town. Awesome news about the area, real estate information, great places to live, interesting house tours. But go check it out. Hit that notification bell so that you find out all the time when we post new videos, which is a lot. If you want to know about Lafayette, if you want to know about Lafayette real estate, this is the channel for you. And if you want to reach out, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube and let me know how I can help you out. I felt like there was a sneeze coming on there. All right, what else is going on? You guys excited about the new library? Oh, it's not a new library. Are you guys excited about the rededication of the library? I think it's pretty cool. In development news, the West Lafayette Levee, plans for the Levee, I'm going to call it the Levee District, continue to take shape is the headline. So if you've ever been down in the Levee District, it's kind of some cattywampus streets that are there because of just how they developed over time. We're talking about the area down there where Borders used to be. It is now a whole bunch of other things. Nine Irish Brothers is down there. Bruno's used to be down there. But they just got a first look at a possible street layout. There's already a 7-story apartment complex and a hotel being planned in the area. And by planned, I believe that they're going to be breaking ground before too long here, sometime this year or next year. But let's have a look here at what this grid is going to look like. Let me get this up on the screen. It would help if I hit the right button. Here we go. Here's the map, so you can see State Street through here, and then all of these areas have been parceled off, and we actually have grid streets now instead of the crazy one-ways and dead-end streets. They're going to rework Tapawingo Park a little bit. They're talking about having an ice, I forget exactly what they called it, something akin to a lazy river. So instead of a rink, you'll be able to go around like a track, I suppose. And a new building for the ice rink as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's going on. Like I said, they're going to be breaking ground here sometime in the not too distant future on those buildings. I mean, that's why one of the reasons that Bruno's closed. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. You got it. If you're watching at Lafayette Live, if you're watching this video, you'll love all of the other videos that we have on the channel. More national chain restaurants coming to Greater Lafayette. So I really kind of like to talk about local businesses. But, you know, for some people, chain restaurants is where it's at, and there are more coming to the Lafayette area. There's a Chuy's Tex-Mex coming, and it's going to be where the TGI Fridays was on Creasy Lane in the Pavilions shopping center there. So that building is not going to sit empty too long. And over in West Lafayette, we're getting a Wingstop in the strip mall next to Payless. So if you've got a taste for wings, there'll be yet another place to go get them over in West Lafayette. And a new rice noodle place is setting up shop in a retail space below the Rivermark Apartments on State Street. So if you want to try something that isn't your normal fast food, go check that out. If you're interested in home here in the Lafayette area, I'd love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Please click the check out the QR code right here. Load up all of my information into your phone. Go to the LafayetteReal.com to find out more about the area, about all the homes that are available for sale, and go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube to let me know how I can be of help to you. Chugging right along here. This has been big news, and I was not struggling to keep up, but every time I bookmarked the article, it felt like it was time to move along. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Chauncey Hill Mall is being razed, and it has been officially announced that they are rezoning. The Area Plan Commission has voted yes to rezone the Chauncey Hill Mall location into a 13-story apartment complex. It's going to be a dual-sided complex with one having regular market rate apartments and then the other half being student-focused apartments. There's going to be ground level retail, and then what is currently the parking lot in front is going to be a park area. So let's check out a couple of pictures for this one. Screen. Talking to myself here. So this is a rendering of the new building, and we're looking basically directly at where Chauncey Hill Mall used to sit. That green area with the sidewalk in front is where the parking lot currently sits. And you can kind of see that one half to the left, well, I don't know which side will be which, but to the left and to the right, one side will be students and one side will be market rate apartments. And up to 681 apartments, studio to 5 bedrooms. There's going to be 40,000 square feet of commercial space and 544 parking spaces in a 3-story underground garage. What do you guys think of this one? You excited for more development in West Lafayette? I think there's a lot of people that kind of thought that the Chauncey Hill Mall was a little bit of an eyesore, but I think other people kind of saw it as this tradition, this place that they had grown up with, that they had gone to school with if you were a Purdue student. So it sits in the same footprint, basically, but it's going tall. But that's been the nature of West Lafayette and the Hill there in the last couple of years. It's a whole lot of high-rises between 10 and 15 stories. I think they're all around 12 or 13 stories. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, I think that I generally feel good about this. I mean, I think that that strip mall had outlived its usefulness. It was a relic of a bygone era. And I know that part of keeping that space filled was a little bit of the uncertainty of what the future was with that building and the fact that the owners and the city had been talking so long about redeveloping it, but it really kind of turned into a whole lot of nothing. And that big asphalt parking area that wasn't usable as parking for anybody like visiting the university or anywhere else. I mean, the big signs about if you're leaving the lot and your car's still here, you're going to be towed. It wasn't public parking for anybody but the strip mall. I think it's good from that perspective, but the area needs more housing. That's for sure. It's going to be a little dense, but when you only have so much footprint, then you got to go up. So I guess I'm talking myself here into overall liking this idea. Here's another aerial shot of the park area in the front. I see this as a net positive. I mean, I think that we'll see the rents pretty high on these apartments, and I'm sure that we'll hear lots of people complain about it, as one does. But what do you guys think in the chat? Is anybody excited about this? So it was supposed to have it's going to have a final vote on September 3rd in the West Lafayette City Council meeting. I think that's going to be approved. I'd be really kind of surprised if they didn't. I'm sure that there'll be a committee member or two that have some reservations and maybe ask some questions. But I think it's going to be an overwhelming, if not unanimous approval for that. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. I mean, they didn't get this far in the planning process without input from the planning commission and from the city. If they were dead set against it, they would have said so long ago. But they're going to vote on it on September 3rd, and if it's approved, it's probably going to begin right away with completion by fall of 27. So we're looking forward to 3 years of construction on that site. I know that when they were building the first high-rises there, it seemed like they went on forever. 3 years kind of seems like an eternity, but that's progress for you, right? Do me a favor. Yep. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you've tuned into our channel at all, then you'll enjoy the hundreds of videos and shorts and live streams we have out about the Lafayette and West Lafayette area, about Tippecanoe County. If you're looking for home here in the Lafayette area, I'd love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Please reach out to me. All of my contact information is below. You guys having a good evening so far? Yeah? Let's see. I think my next notes were about that. All right. Yes, it was indeed. So that passed the Planning Commission. All right, got a little bit of a sniffle there. I mean to make you guys listen to that. Lafayette School Corporation has a new dual language program, and it's not what you think it is. This is at Edgelea Elementary. I always say that wrong. I'm sorry if you're a teacher there, if you've got kids there. Edgelea. I've heard it said every which way that you can imagine. Edgelea, Edgeley. I'm sorry. They have a dual language program for kindergartners, and they've been working on this program for 4 years. So they're going to have dual language in kindergarten. And then they're going to advance through. So next year when those kindergartners become first graders, the first graders will do it, but the new kindergartners will do it as well. So they have about 50 kids enrolled in the dual language program. And right now it's dual Spanish and English. And some of the students are speaking English at home. Some of the students speak Spanish at home. And they switch throughout the day. So one class starts on the Spanish side and one starts on the English side, and then halfway through the day they switch. So they get immersed in both languages. And if you know anything about kids and brains and adults and their brains, our brains are the most plastic and able to learn when we're young. So learning how to speak another language is just what kids do. I mean, our kids here in America learn English by listening to their parents, and now they're going to get to learn another language while they're still young and able to do it. And I just think that's so cool. So congrats to Edgelea for really doing something, I was going to say out of the box, but something so necessary. I think that anybody being able to speak more than one language is just such an awesome thing and an asset in life. So congrats to you guys. I can't wait to see how this program develops over the years. I mean, 50 elementary school kids today could turn into 250 elementary school kids over the next few years. On the event side, the Wabash Walls Mural Festival kicked off, is kicking off. Kicked off last week, but it's a 2-week festival. We're in the middle of it. So the Wabash Walls is a collaborative educational outreach program that started way back in 2008. And you can go see some of those original murals down on Wabash Avenue, hence the Wabash Walls. But it is a collaborative outreach between 14 counties and the Arts Federation here in north central Indiana. And they have more than 100 murals created by artists from around the world. And they're no longer, they haven't been just on Wabash Avenue in a long time. They're down 9th Street, and some of the new murals this year are like being painted in West Lafayette on the back side of the Silver Dipper. It's really, really cool. It's graffiti art. It's public art in using graffiti and using large canvases, the sides of buildings. It's just really, really cool. This year, they are featuring 5 new artists creating new murals around the community. Well, 5 artists creating new murals, some returning artists. Rabbi Towing, Grace the Streets, Shane Hello, Tristan Eaton, and then returning our hero Vega. I think it's so cool. I don't know where they all are. Here they are. There's going to be one at Tapawingo Park, one on Sagamore Parkway, one at Food Finders Food Bank, one at the Tippecanoe Public Library, and one at the Wabash Landing Apartments. And they're supposed to be done late this week. So go check those out. And hit the like and subscribe button. Go check out all of the videos that we have here on the channel and reach out to me at thelafayettereal.com/YouTube and let me know how I can be of help to you. The next one can be a little controversial, and I try to shy away from negativity and controversy here on Lafayette Live. I'm not here to get people upset or angry. I want to focus on the cool things that are happening in our community and not the negative. This one could be seen as controversial, but I think it's important to talk about. The White County Commissioners have approved a large-scale solar farm, pushing aside moratoriums and ordinance revisions. So this has been a big deal up in White County. These developers have been wanting and have been putting in large-scale solar farms, and a lot of neighbors have been very concerned about this for a lot of good reasons. Some are concerned about, their property values, and some people are concerned about what they see as future use of the land and current use of the land. But the things that seem to have won the day on the argument are, one, this is private land that is being sold and or rented. I think we have lost the stream. All right, I'm sorry about that. We seem to have lost the stream. All right, we're back up. Not sure what happened there. So the solar farm in White County has been approved over the objections of a lot of residents up there. And the two arguments that seem to have won the day are, one, this is private property that is being sold or long-term leased, so those people are free to do with their property as they want. So we're talking about property owners' rights, and I know that the argument's about property owners' rights versus, neighbors, and this is why HOAs came into existence. But two, and what I would say is a lot of argument and concern over the future of renewable energy and what that is, and a lot of pushback on that solar is not the solution. And again, I don't want to get in any sort of controversy, but I don't think, for the most part, that any sensible person thinks that wind or solar or nuclear or coal or name any other energy source is the answer. I think that we're at an interesting period of history where we're figuring out the next thing. And I personally think that we kind of have to try all of the things, and some of them will work great and some of them won't, and we'll look back and laugh at some of the choices that we made and wonder why there were things that we didn't do. So, generating more electricity through solar, I think in the short term is a good idea. So there's going to be a 1,000-acre solar farm a mile west of Chalmers. And over the 35-year lifespan, the county's going to get $38 million in property taxes. So that ain't nothing. It's going to be 250 megawatts and should power up to 20,000 homes. And what they say, what the development company says, and if you understand much of anything about the distribution network, is most of the power will stay here locally. This is a direct quote here. Most of the power will stay here locally, but power flows to wherever it's needed. It'll power everything from Indiana east to the Atlantic coast. So that's the way that electricity in our distribution system is set up. So sometimes that power will stay local, sometimes it'll go all the way over to the Atlantic coast, but the inverse of that is true as well. We get power from many, many places across the grids. So they've done a little bit of work about setbacks and things like that and where they can be in relation to the road. Again, I know it's a bit of a controversial topic, but I think that doing all the things right now is the story of the day. Try everything. Let's see what works. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work, but we're trying it. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let YouTube know how much you enjoy tuning into at Lafayette Live every week and how much you enjoy watching your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice talk to you about all things awesome here in Lafayette. Couple of more really uplifting stories. Lafayette Geoff has been hosting a program called Unified Sports over the last few years. And this is a program that pairs up regular student athletes with special needs student athletes. And it's a really cool program. I hear stories about this all the time. And to hear these big, beefy football players out there cheering on the special needs athletes, and you know, it's putting them together to support each other. And they have been named one of the Unified Champions School, and they're going to get a special banner from the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Special Olympics. So right now they offer 3 programs through this Unified Sports program: the bocce ball, bowling, and track and field. So I just think that's super cool. So, you know, think about what you can do and what you can't do, and how cool it would be to have somebody who can do things that you can't do cheering you on, or the inverse of that. It's just really a cool thing to see people supporting each other. And you hear so much negativity about kids and bullying and all this kind of stuff, and this is the exact opposite of that. And the kids are doing it willingly because they want to, and it's really a heartening story to see. So congratulations to Lafayette Geoff on that. All right. Next one is also really cool. Do any of you in the chat, or if you're watching after the live video, do you know what the Sagamore of the Wabash Award is? Anybody? Yeah, it's the highest civilian honor that the state of Indiana can bestow on somebody. And 2 local men, James Red Wingett and Bill Crane, were both named Sagamore of the Wabash. They are both World War II veterans and served as young men. Crane as a frogman, the precursor to the SEALs, and Crane as a signal man, and Wingett as a frogman. And for their years of service, they've been named Sagamore of the Wabash. So congratulations to those 2 gentlemen and to their families. That's just a super awesome recognition to have. I've met a few Sagamore of the Wabash recipients in my time, and they're always really cool people with really cool stories. These gentlemen, did they say how old they are right now? I'm trying to see. I didn't note that down. They were 17 when they enlisted. Can you imagine 17 and knowing that you're going to go off and serve your country? Oh, they're both 100. They're both Sagamore of the Wabash at 100 years old. So congratulations. And for what I think might be our last story of the evening, West Lafayette has done a comprehensive study of early childhood education. And the Redevelopment Commission released this report and discovered that there's a giant gap in early childhood education, specifically in preschool. And they've been able to quantify that. They think that West Lafayette is short somewhere between 75 and 125 preschool placements. I think that number's huge. I mean, that's the average there is 100. That means 100 families don't have a place in West Lafayette to send their kids to preschool. Now, what one parent talked about is the fact that he can find daycare, but he's looking for preschool. He's looking for actual education, and there's a difference between education and just childcare. So what the Redevelopment Commission is going to do with this is they're looking to perhaps develop some municipal education centers, two of them possibly, where they're looking at two spots, one near Happy Hollow or one a little further north up on Calbera. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops out. I mean, I think it's something along the lines of the wellness center that, it kind of started as the idea and a dream that, somebody saw a little bit of a need in the community, and then the community figured out how to fill that gap. So hopefully they'll get this along sooner rather than later. We homeschool, so we never faced that particular problem, but man, I could see how that would be a huge problem. So I thank you all for joining us here on At Lafayette Live here on what must be the hottest day of August. It is very, very hot out there, so I hope you enjoyed some air conditioning, watching me talk about Lafayette and West Lafayette and our local community here. If you're looking to move to Lafayette, if you're looking to upsize or downsize, I'd love to be your Lafayette local real estate resource of choice. My contact information is right here. Send me an email or a text. Scan the QR code to get everything loaded into your phone, and I'd love to talk to you about home here in the Lafayette area. And with that, I'll say thank you for joining us, and I will see you again next week for At Lafayette Live.